In this video, I'm going to discuss about class, object and methods in Java programming. Okay. Basically, Java is a class-based object-oriented programming language. Okay. So object-oriented in the sense real-world entities are represented as objects. Real world entities are represented as object. Object has state and behavior. Okay. State represent the properties of the object. Behavior is going to represent the functionality of the object. Okay. So Java is class based language. Whatever we write, it is included within a class definition. Everything we write in Java file is included within a class definition. So it is important for us to learn how to define a class. Okay. So basically what is a class? Class is a blueprint or template. It does not have life. When it comes into existence, when objects of the class is instantiated or objects of the class is created, then it comes into existence. So how to define a class? Class definition starts with the keyword class. Following this keyword, we need to write name for the class, your class name. Within this curly brace, we may write what your class definition contains. Class definition contains or it encloses, it encapsulates data member or it is called variables. Data members are going to represent the properties of the class. Okay. And then methods. Okay, so methods are going to represent functionalities. Okay, the class definition contains importantly data members and methods. Other than this, it also contains constructor. Constructor is a special method, or it may include a block of statement. Okay, when the class definition includes a block of statement is enclosed between these curly braces. Okay, so other than this, most importantly, class definition contains data members, methods and constructor. Data members represents the properties, methods represent the functionality. Okay, so we will discuss what are the different types of variables or data members. We have instance variable, local variable and static variable. Based on the scope and when the memory is allocated for this variable, it differs. Okay. If we define variables inside method definition, those variables are called local variable. Instance variables are variables defined outside any method definition. Okay, so outside method definition, if we define any variable, those variables are called instance variable. Variable declared inside method is called local variable. Okay, instance variable will become static variable when the keyword static is attached with the instance variable declaration. Okay, so the scope of this local variable is within the method in which it has been defined. Scope of instance variable is within the class definition. Static variables are variables shared among all the objects of the class. Okay, so when the instance variable will be allocated memory, okay, that is when the objects is being created, when the objects are instantiated, or when object is created, instance variable will be allocated memory. Okay, when this local variable will be allocated memory, when we are compiling our Java file, the local variable will be allocated memory. When the static variable will be allocated memory, when the bytecode of our Java file is being executed by Java runtime environment. Java runtime environment contains a class loader. When the class loader loads the bytecode, okay, then the static variable will be allocated memory. Okay. So during different time, these variables will be allocated memory based on which it differs. Okay. So we have three types of variable: instance, local and static variable. This is all about the data members. Okay. Then comes your methods. Methods are going to represent functionality. Okay. How to define a method? What your method definition contains? Method definition contains a method signature, and method implementation. In method signature, we will write the return type. When the method is going to implement certain functionality, after performing the functionality, the method is going to return some value. The return type of the value need to be specified. After that, name of the method. Okay, so name of method. When the method is being invoked, we need to pass certain values to this method. The values are taken by this parameter. Parameter which is going to take some list of values when the method is being invoked. So this is your method signature. First thing in method definition is your method signature. Then comes your method implementation. Okay, the method implementation is statement included between these curly braces. This is called your method implementation. So every method defined inside class name will contain a method signature and implementation. Basically, method is going to represent functionality. In the method signature, we are specifying return type. After performing the functionality, the method is going to return some value. Data type of the value need to be specified and name of the method. And then within parentheses, we may be passing values to this method. The values are taken by these parameters. Parameters are list of variables along with the data type. Okay. So within this curly brace, we may be writing the method implementation. That is how it is going to perform its functionality. Okay. So that is how we may able to define a method. So we may be having a default method inside our class definition. The method is the main method. Signature of this main method is, it is public. Access specifier is public. This method is a static method. It returns nothing. When it returns nothing, return type is void. Okay, name of the function is main. And then parameters are string, array of string argument is passed as parameter to this main method. It returns nothing. It is a static method and access specifier is public. Public specifies from outside the class definition, we may able to access this method. Static means when the method is static, we don't need any object to access this method. Okay, directly with the class name, we may able to access this method. Okay, this is implementation of my main method. Okay, what is so special about this main method is, okay, so when your program is being executed, execution is started from our main function. The execution of the program starts from the main function. Who is responsible for accessing this main function is your JVM. Okay, so JVM is responsible for executing our program. When program execution starts, the execution starts from main function. Okay. So your class definition may contain a main method. What is objective of this main method is, inside this main method, objects are being created. When I want to access the data members and methods, definitely I need object of this class. Using the object of the class, I can access data members and methods. Okay. So object creation is done inside this main function, and also it includes all the processing statement. Okay. So object instantiation and processing statement is included between this default function, that is main. Okay. So when my program execution starts from my main function. Okay. And then next one is constructor. Okay. Constructor is also a special method. So basically constructor is a method. Okay. So and what is the name of the constructor? Name of the constructor should be same as our class name. So when we have method with the name of the class, then the method is called constructor. Okay. It will not return anything. So return type is void. Even though it does not return anything, no need to specify void here. Okay. So this is method implementation. Inside this constructor implementation, what we are going to do is, main objective of this constructor method is to initialize our data members. Initializing the data members are main objective of our constructor, and also the constructor is used when objects are being created. When objects of the class definition is created, these constructors are being used. Next we will discuss what are all the naming convention, that is rules you need to follow while giving name for your class, methods, variable, constructor and giving name for your file. Okay. So what are all the rules we need to follow while giving name for the class and then method, variables and then your file name. When we are giving name for our class, okay, class name always starts with an alphabet. Okay, class name starts with uppercase letter and an alphabet. All the rules we are following while giving name for the variable is applicable while giving name for class, method, variables and file name. When we giving name for the class, its class name starts with a uppercase letter. Okay. When we have more than one word, okay, so if I have more than one word, in all the words first letter need to be capitalized. Okay, so when the class name is more than one word, all the first letter in all the words should be capitalized or it should be in uppercase letter. For example, if my class name is circle, I may write like this. Okay, if class name is circle data, okay, so circle data is two words. First word starts with the letter C, so it is capitalized. Second word is data. Okay, so in the second word, first letter is capitalized. That is the rule we need to follow while giving name for the class. Okay, so when we are giving name for the method, method name starts with an alphabet. Okay, but it starts with a lowercase letter. It starts with lowercase letter or an alphabet. Okay. So in method, if the method contains more than one word, okay, it starts with a lowercase letter. Starting from second word, in each word, first letter is capitalized. Okay. So if the method name contains more than one word, starting from second word, in each word, first letter is capitalized. Okay, method name starts with a lowercase letter. That means the first letter of the first word should be lowercase letter. Okay, in most, starting from the second word, in every word, first letter need to be capitalized. That is the naming convention we need to follow while giving name for the method. Okay, variable, okay, all letters are lowercase letters. And then when we are giving name for the file name, okay, so we need to follow a rule, that is, okay, file name should be same as our class name. Okay, so we have told while discussing structure of Java program, your Java program may contain more than one class definition. In case in my Java program, if I have more than one class definition, which class name I should follow as my file name? Okay, the class definition which contains this main method. One of the class definition is going to contain this main method. The name of the class which contains the main method should be my file name. Okay, so this is class name which contains our main method in case if my Java file contains more than one class definition. Otherwise, it's a class name dot Java. Okay, So do it necessarily be the class name when we are giving name for the file name. Okay, so it is better if you don't have any pretty good reason to change the file name, don't change the file name. Make the file name as the class name which contains your main method .java. Why it is so? When I compile my program, when I compile my Java file, it creates a bytecode. Bytecode is stored in .class file. Name for the file name of the bytecode will be same as the class name which contains my main method. So it is better if we keep the file name as the class name which contains main method. Since when Java C compiler creates a bytecode, okay, so that is .class file. Name of the .class file will be same as the class name which contains main method. So we may relate easily the file name with this corresponding bytecode file name. So it is better to have name of the file same as the class name which contains the main method. That is the reason why we are keeping that file name. Okay, so these are all the different rules we need to follow while giving name for other class, method, variables and file name. Okay, so if we change the file name, okay, then we have to relate the file name with the corresponding bytecode file name. So it is better to keep the file name as the class name which contains our main method. So these are all the different rules we need to follow while giving names. And what is the class definition? Class definition contains data members, method and constructors. Data members are variables which represent the properties of the class. We have three types of data member: instance, local and static. Based on the scope and when the memory is allocated for the variable, it varies. And methods. The method contains a signature and implementation. Okay, in the signature we need to specify its return type, name of the method and the list of parameters or argument within this parenthesis. Okay, and then within curly brace we may be writing implementation for the method. In class definition, any one of the class definition may contain this default main method. This is default signature of our main method. Okay, what is the purpose of using main method is inside main method we will be creating our object and will write all the processing statement. Constructors are also methods. Basically it is a special method. Name of the constructor is same as class name. The purpose of using constructor is to initialize your data members. So this is all about the concept, class, object and methods in Java programming.